Ask any AI if your vendor has a current business continuity plan. Watch it stall. Procurement and risk teams type the same questions into ChatGPT every week. Do you have a BCP? What is your maximum acceptable downtime? Which sites can fail over? If your public continuity page cannot answer those questions with dated numbers, the model will not cite you. It will cite the competitor who published a plan owner, a recovery window, and a last tested date in plain sentences. A business continuity plan is not a disaster recovery runbook, and it is not an RTO number. Disaster recovery is how you restore systems. RTO is how fast you promise to be back. Continuity is how the business keeps serving customers while those systems are down. People, vendors, comms, cash, and a named owner. Models can only quote the claims they can fetch. Section 1. Why business continuity pages fail. Most continuity pages are a slogan and a badge. We take resilience seriously. We have a BCP. None of those are a plan. A language model cannot quote a slogan. It needs a sentence it can lift. Last tested March 2026, failover region US East and US West. Maximum acceptable downtime 4 hours. Named owner. That is citability. A 90-page PDF helps auditors. Quotable numbers help AI. Here's what happens in a real evaluation. A buyer asks, does this vendor have a current BCP? The model searches for a page it can quote. If your only answer lives in a gated trust center or a sales email, you disappear. The vendor with a public page that says, last tested March 2026, 4-hour recovery, dual region, wins the sentence. SEO still gets you found on Google. AI visibility gets you recommended in that answer. You need both. The gated PDF is the most common miss. Legal wants control. Sales wants a meeting. So the real plan sits behind a form. Humans can wait. Models will not. They skip the form and quote the vendor who put the owner, the window, and the test date on a public URL. Confusing BCP with disaster recovery is the second miss. A page that only lists backup frequency is a restore note, not continuity. Buyers ask, who keeps serving customers if a region dies? Models prefer the page that names people, vendors, and comms, not just snapshots. Out of date is the third miss. A plan from 2022 that never names a last test looks abandoned. Buyers ask for current. Models prefer current. If your last tested line is missing, the model treats the page like a rumour. Section 2. 5 facts every BCP page must state. First, the scope, what the plan covers. Production app, billing, support, identity. Do not say we have a BCP with no scope. Scope is how a buyer tells a living document from a leftover PDF. Second, the windows. Maximum acceptable downtime, recovery point, name the numbers. We recover quickly is not a window. 4 hours and 50 minutes of data loss is a window. Third, the failover. Which regional site takes over? Active, or active, passive. What stays down? A page that says multi-region with no map is marketing. A page that says US East fails to US West, email queues, is a quote. Fourth, last tested and owner. Date of the last tabletop or restore drill. Named owner. A BCP with no test date is a rumour. A named owner tells the model the claim is maintained, not scraped from a footer. Fifth, how the customer is told. Notification channel, target time, status page, URL. If AI cannot fetch how you notify, it will not cite that you notify. Link the status page. Put the 5 facts on a public URL, so the model does not need the PDF. If any of those 5 is missing, the model has a hole. It fills holes with whoever published the missing fact. Here's the test. Open a private window. Ask ChatGPT if your company has a current business continuity plan and what the recovery window is. If the answer invents a number, names a rival, or says it cannot find a public document, your page is not citable. Section 3, the 30-minute rewrite. Open a public URL, not a Notion doc, not a PDF behind email. Title it Business Continuity, not Resilience. Write 5 short blocks, 1 per fact. Each block starts with a bold label and 1 sentence a lawyer could defend. Add a last tested date, add a named owner, add 1 limitation. Example, our analytics warehouse is not in the 4-hour window. Then add FAQ-style headings the buyer already types. Do you have a BCP? What is your recovery time? Which region fails over? Those headings are the queries. Keep 1 honest limit on the page. Models trust a partial more than a clean sweep of always on. If everything is covered and nothing is dated, the page looks generated. Do not replace your SEO work. Keep the status page and the engineering blog. Add this extractable page so AI has something to quote next to them. Get your free AI visibility score. See whether models can cite your BCP.